Yo, what up YouTube? What up boxing fans? Adrien Broner has a mega fight this weekend versus Antonio DeMarco, and boxing needs a new star. And if Adrien Broner can beat DeMarco decisively, he's gonna put himself up there with the likes of Juan Manuel Marquez's, Timothy Bradley's, Kell Brooks. He's gonna be up there, and he's definitely gonna be a contender for many big fights. It would be a shame if he actually beats DeMarco and fighters start ducking him, because he's definitely going to be a star type fighter if he can win this fight. And I expect him to pass his biggest test, Antonio DeMarco, with flying colors. I think he'll be able to beat DeMarco convincingly. I think DeMarco's going to have a really hard time with Adrien Broner. Like, for me, Adrien Broner, not only does he have great punching power, but he also has a great defense. This is a guy who has knockouts in the upper 80 percentiles. He's knocked out 80% of his opponents. Antonio DeMarco has power, and he brings pressure. And that's definitely going to be a tough test for Broner. But I expect his defense to prevail. I expect Adrien Broner to put pressure on DeMarco as well. I think he's going to counterpunch the hell out of him. And once DeMarco starts backing up, which he has in the past, we saw him versus Valero, and he got stopped in 9 rounds. Well, consider Adrien Broner. I think he's got a bigger punch than Valero. I know Valero had massive punching power for his weight at 130 pounds, but I think in terms of the size and speed Adrien Broner brings, I think he's going to be stronger. And I think he's going to pack a bigger punch for Antonio DeMarco. And, just look at their physical physiques. Adrien Broner is a much more built, powerful, and dynamic athlete. And I think you're going to see that. DeMarco's strong and he brings pressure. But that's pretty much it, You can't call him one-dimensional because he has got a good jab, and he's knocked out plenty of opponents, including Jorge Linares. But he's not a big puncher, and he does not have a great defense. Adrien Broner brings, tremendous defense. This is one of the best defensive fighters, I think, in boxing right now. And you're going to find out why. When DeMarco's struggling to hit him, and he's constantly getting punched back with right hands, with jabs, with body shots. Adrien Broner can bring it all. I think he's going to be able to thoroughly outbox DeMarco and go on to knock him out in late fashion. I expect a late round stoppage from Adrien Broner in this fight. I don't think DeMarco will really put up much of a fight. Like, I know he's going to bring pressure, but eventually I think punishment will catch up to him, and I think Adrien Broner will finish him off. I think this is really the first time DeMarco's faced a puncher like Broner, and I don't think he's going to be able to land too much against him. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but DeMarco's good, but I just don't see him as a great fighter. He's just going to be a great test for Adrien Broner, and I just see him as a stepping stone. I think Adrien Broner is going to move on to bigger and better things. He just needs to clean up the 135-pound division, and once he does that, sky's the limit. He can go up to 140, and that's a packed division. But I do see him thoroughly outboxing Antonio DeMarco. He's got a great lead right hand. He's got a great counter right hand. He can counter off the ropes. He really does a great job of watching his opponent. He can make in-ring adjustments. It's really reminiscent of Floyd Mayweather, but this is with Floyd Mayweather with knockout power. Expect Adrien Broner to look impressive against DeMarco, and he just might make it look easy. For now, it is what it is, guys. Peace out, take care.